Ndị be anyị kene m unu. Asị m ka echikwara ya zelu. Daalụ rinne nu ka unu si na-esoro anyị n'ife anyị na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ. Taa bụ ụbọchị 22 abalị 22 nke Septemba 2023. A wetara nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa gbasara maka ya ka o si aga and ihe na-eme n'ala Igbo. A wetara unu ozi ihe a bụ international media interview emelu Kan president of Kaduna. Gee ntị ọfụma were ife o kwuru n'iru akwụkwọ gbasara maka ụmụ Chineke. Mma chọkwa unu gee ya bụ ife, achọrọ m ka m kwuo ya kọlapụ isi m n'ọnụ wee pụta, mana gee ya bụ ife ya on international media because o were ife Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kwuru that na if any platform ọbụla na-ebulo about Biafra, ịmana afọ ibidobe. As I'm telling you now, this is breaking all over the world internationally. I'm now speaking about the Biafrans and about Biafra. So that is the main thing. So get if you get here, you drop what I comment again. Basta maka feature if this media interview emere this man. Just get if you drop what I comment again. All right, over to you.
So, Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa, who has said that with effect from Monday, July 31st, that 2 weeks sit-at-home will be enforced in the Southeast to demand for the immediate and unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, amongst other requests that he has. I've been joined by Reverend Joseph John Hayab, Chairman Kan, Kaduna State, who's joining us this morning from Kaduna State. Good morning to you, Reverend John Hayab.
Good morning, and best of the day to all our viewers.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Reverend, how are you looking at this? How are you processing this latest development regarding the insecurity situation in the Southeast? The federal government is deploying troops down there to counter this order by pro-Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa.
Well, let me begin my response by applauding the Chief of Army Staff. When General Lagbaja was sent to the one mechanized division in Kaduna, for those of us who followed his activities and antecedent, he came out in full force. He went out and led the troop to fish out bandits, to fish out terrorists that have been tormenting and denying the people of Kaduna peace. Unfortunately, the power that be at that time, for reasons they know that we may not know, decide to pull him out immediately and send him to a new posting. I am happy to say, because we are still around, that this same man that we applaud, this same man that we cherish, this same man that we believe had a good intention, is now the Chief of Army Staff. And the essence of this change in the service chiefs was to inject a new spirit to checkmate the insecurity that has bedeviled the entire country, not just the Southeast. So, to me, this is a welcome development. Now to the issue of the Southeast. It is sad and unfortunate that in this age, some characters or individuals, for whatever reason, will choose to stir up problems for their people. Every Nigerian, irrespective of region or identity, knows that things have not been going well across this country in the past years. But you cannot, for whatever reason, stop your whole people from doing their legitimate businesses, from going to school, from going about doing what will help them, and ask them to sit at home for a particular day. And you are not government. You are a non-state actor. You are saying that what you want is a Biafra nation. If you want to be a Biafra nation, you don't go like that to get the Biafra nation. That means that even if you get the Biafra nation, the people you are claiming or you are parading yourself to be defending, we are going to be terrorized. So I find the way and the approach of IPOB quite ridiculous, not matured to today's war. I feel that there are better ways that this group of people can point out their demands and insist their demands are met than what they are saying. Recently, the photos and the kind of information we read about those who parade themselves as the leaders of this group that are forcing innocent citizens to sit at home. They don't even have integrity. Neither do they have a good testimony of life. But they are just exploiting the pains and the sorrow, the poor leadership that we have in this country, and saying that they are fighting for the people, when in reality they are only just fighting for themselves. I want to challenge those who care to listen. that unless our government sit up and show that in this country we have a government, we have powers, that we have authority, we have a constitution, and no one will just come and terrorize fellow citizens, we will be in problem. If you think that what they are doing is good and you clap for them, another new group will come. Some years back, the government of Nigeria faced the United volunteers, as they call themselves. They terrorize people. We knew how they were dealt with before they stopped. And we know the other group of Boko Haram, and we later came with bandits in Northwest. So we can't allow our country to be hijacked by some people hiding under whatever guise to say they want to fight for people. Well, in reality, they are enjoying themselves abroad. They are having a field day. They don't even care what those people go. Look, I have traveled to many parts of the Southeast. The fact that in the last 4 months or 3 months, I've been to many places. I can see the commitment of local women, villagers, because I actually went to villages, not cities. I only slept in the city, but every day I go to certain villages. See the commitment, the desire by the people to come out and earn a living. The desire by the people to come out and have something to feed their children. The desire for the people to come out and make sure they have something that they can pay their children's school fees. And you just sit and say, nobody comes out in a whole day. Have you helped their economy? Have you helped their life? Have you helped them in anything? Have you really sit down with them and know what they want and how they want it to go? I think something is wrong. So I applaud the Chief of Army Staff, and I pray that he's not just going to be with IPOB. This kind of groups that I imagine from different areas in Nigeria or different regions in Nigeria and terrorizing Nigeria by claiming that they are fighting for the people should know that we have a government.
Yeah, it's interesting to have you commend General Tarid Lagbaja and saying that he's done well in the past, and I find that quite commendable. However, I also know that no government worth the salt would negotiate with terrorists, right? So, indeed, move in the right direction. However, how would you respond to those who are saying, look, what is happening with this case is a very peculiar one in the sense that the IPOB man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the court has ordered for his release. And the states, the Southeast governors, a lot of them and their leaders indeed have called for the release of this man. Shouldn't the first step at arriving or achieving peace in that region be to release this man?
Well, that's another issue altogether. I don't subscribe to government or the executive to refuse to obey the order of the court. We should be governed by the rule of law, which means as a citizen and also our government must obey our courts. If we don't obey the judgment of our court or the orders of our court, we are calling for anarchy. So those who have the powers or those who are responsible for this must listen. If the court have ruled that the man should be given on bail, allow him go and then watch all his movement. After all, we know the effort government put in and the amount of the kind of investment government did to fetch this man out there or to arrest this man wherever they arrested him and brought him back to Nigeria. That means the man has nowhere to go and hide, that they cannot fish him out. So government must learn to obey court orders. But we see, as we ask government to obey court orders, we must also tell those who are also taking the laws into their hand that what they are doing is wrong. The whole of the Southeast is made up of highly intelligent people. It's made up of highly organized people. It's made up of highly successful people. It's made up of highly placed elders with good experience. Can they exploit a way of dialogue? Can they exploit a way of putting some kind of pressure on government to release this Nnamdi Kanu? And I think there's nothing wrong if they release him as long as the court has ruled so. But what we don't want is that some people hiding in the name of Nnamdi Kanu or hiding on the name of IPOB and terrorizing. Unfortunately, they are actually terrorizing their innocent brothers and sisters. They are denying them the peace and the joy they're supposed to have. They are hindering them from going out to do their businesses and to seek for their daily source of livelihood. So what kind of struggle is that? A struggle that you end up destroying yourself? That's not struggle. A struggle is to find peace for yourself, is to find freedom for yourself, is to find joy for yourself, is to find opening for yourself. But a freedom that you end up terrorizing your own. So after getting the freedom and the people are dead because of hunger, who will succeed? Who will remain in the Biafra nation? As much as I understand what they are agitating for, as much as we want fairness and justice in Nigeria, but we should be able to call this group that you're not doing it right, you're not doing it civilized way, you're not doing it in a mature way, you're not doing it as people who understand. You are instead terrorizing your people. So that's why government can hide and call them terrorists and will not negotiate with them. But if they limit it to the issue of really fighting for their people, everybody will understand. After all, my people in Southern Kaduna also have their concern and troubles with this government. Other people in other regions of this country also have their concern and trouble with this government. Let's assume all these groups just come out now. Then we wouldn't have a country. And we don't have a country, then who are you going to be discussing with? I want them to do or to seek for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, but not at the expense of the joy, the freedom of their local people who do not even understand what is going on.
Indeed. We've seen
Now
videos.
is how do they survive?
We've seen videos, we've heard reports of people who have been killed, maimed, properties burnt in the southeast. The growth of that region has been stunted. Definitely no investor would go to the southeast for anything. Matter of fact, being deployed or transferred.
There are people any day they are enforcing that order of sit at home.
Yeah.
You beat people as no, that's inhuman. That's the violation of the right of the people.
They don't just flog them, they also kill them.
How do you violate the right of people when you want freedom?
Reverend, my question is this. Having looked at how this whole drama is affecting that region, would you say that the movers and shakers of the Igbo people, among the Igbo people, you just alluded to the fact that they have great people from that area. Would you accept the fact that, or accept the opinion in some quarters that they are not doing enough on their own to put an end to this, to arrest this situation? The Igbo people, the movers and shakers among the Igbo people.
The response to that your statement or that your question is a yes and no. It's no, because if you look at the characters placing this sit-at-home order, their attitude, their lifestyle, you may be tempted to conclude that they are the kind who do not listen to anybody. It seems those leaders and those old men, great men of the Igbo land may have tried to help them see, but as far as they are concerned, they see those people as failures, so they just want to do things their own way. And there's a limit to how you can force yourself on people if you're advising them. Sometimes those people may have advised them and they terrorize the people or terrorize members of their families, and they are trying to avoid that and they don't want to go into unnecessary conflict looking at the situation at the moment. So that is one side of it. The other side of it is, well, most of those who are actually making this agitation, you know, are not living in this country. They actually have a field day.
Exactly. The Ekpa man is based in Finland.
I call it a field day, enjoying themselves, going to the beach and having fun. Well, so who do you even talk to? Now, these are people that if you carry your phone and call them, the chances is that they will record your voice, go and change the whole conversation and present and blackmail you. So everybody is so scared of even discussing with them. And that's why, as Nigerians, we must collectively tell each other the truth. I am a Nigerian. My father fought in the Civil War. The fact is that my father was among those army that were forced to retire prematurely because they were injured during the war. And I feel time has come that Nigerians must go together, work together, and unite. But the way and manners of people will just take all of us for granted and to take us for a ride as if we don't know what we're doing, it's not good enough for Nigeria.
Yeah, but the fact.
And the by ekene mu n'ọzọ. Dịka unu nụrụ opinion, let me say opinion. Ya bụ ife akọwagasị na this interview n'elu akwụkwọ, onye ọbụla na-ekwu uche ya. Emara nke abụọ bụ ka ife iwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife ị nụrụ n'elu akwụkwọ a. Once again, ka m chetara unu na ya bụkwa Eastern News 24 ka anyị si wee na-ewetara unu nnukwu ozi ya dị oke mkpa maka nnwere onwe nke ụmụ Biafra, maka ọdịm na mma nke ndị Igbo. Danụ na ụmụ Chineke, ụmụ ife, ngwanụ gbanụ mbọ kụnụ subscribe and also comment, share ya ka o werute ụmụnne anyị ọzọ ntị. Ya bụ benefit ya emela anyị na this channel. Gba mbọ ka i share this broadcast. Thank you and stay tuned at Eastern News 24.